Despite all the gloom and doom surrounding the real estate market, house prices rose 3% both year over year and month over month. Now for condos, it's a different story, with prices down 5% year over year and 4% month over month. Now what's concerning for the market is how few new listings are hitting the market, with both houses and condos down 13% month over month and 14% year over year. If inventory remains constrained, house prices will likely continue to rise, provided there's quality inventory on the market. Starting July 1st, the threshold for the ULA mansion tax will increase. The 4% tax bracket will now start at $5.4 million, and the 5.5% tax bracket will start at $10.9 million. Now keep in mind that this tax applies to the entire purchase amount, not just the amount above the bracket, and it applies only to properties in the city of LA. Nationwide, 5.8% of home listings were pulled off the market in April, according to a Redfin report. Now that ties with December for the highest share of homes delisted since March 2020, when the pandemic hit and the housing market froze. Delistings in April were up 3.8% compared with March. Now, even though this is a national headline, it still affects the local level, as people can rely on national headlines when making big decisions. Now, it's normal for December to have a high number of delistings as sellers want a break over the holidays. So seeing similar numbers in April during the spring selling season is a strong indication of what sellers think of the market. And when you combine this news with what I described at the local level, it looks like slim pickings for buyers moving forward. At the beginning of the year, we in the industry were full of optimism and looking forward to market recovery after 3 years of very slow sales. And for the first 2 months of the year, this looked possible, and then the conflict put a halt to that. And even though I mentioned house prices are up, there's still a lot of stale inventory on the market. So for sellers, unless your home is dialed in a great location and priced right, you're going to be up against it. For buyers looking for a condo, this could be a good time to get a deal. Don't be afraid to submit those low offers. Sometimes the seller is waiting for those instead of reducing the price. Last week's stronger than expected jobs report shows the labor market is still going strong. While having low unemployment is good for the economy overall, a hot job market usually boosts consumer spending, which can keep inflation high or even push it higher. This likely means the Federal Reserve will delay or reduce interest rate cuts for now. For investors, a sustained period of higher rates raises borrowing costs and squeezes profit margins. As a result, institutional investors are demanding higher yields on long-term bonds, pushing up the 10-year Treasury yield. Now, since mortgage rates tend to follow the 10-year Treasury closely, they've increased since the announcement, with rates currently about 0.25% lower than this time last year. I have a lender who's offering a lendered structured 1-1 buy down. What this means is your interest rate will be 1% lower for the first 12 months and then reset back to the original rate. Now the catch is that the rate will be about 0.25% higher than the going rate, but even then you'll be roughly 0.75% lower than what you would get without this for the first 12 months. Now, the potential downside is that if rates don't improve and you can't refinance into a lower rate, you are stuck with this higher rate until rates improve. So there you have it for this month. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or have general real estate questions, reach out anytime by clicking the link in the description below.